Alright, did that work? It wouldn't be a stream without, technical issues, right? Surely this is exactly what everyone expects. I'll delete that, that's fine. Okay, go to Live Studio. Oh, I must have done it. Alright, hello everyone. I am here to do a fireside chat. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit rough until people start joining the stream, mind you, but it will definitely, I'm hoping to actually get some information as to, like, what people want to see from the channel off of this. So, until then, we will start here, and I will bring up the first ever topic. Come on. Work with me, you damned thing. So the attribution and transparency of AI-generated content. Hi, Meg. How you doing? How you been? It's been a while. Okay. In the meantime, actually getting people engaged into whatever the heck is going on. Let's go burn, rupture. Yep. I'm doing well. We had the, wow, they edited this, huh? Yeah, we had the 100 sub special yesterday, and actually, God, oh my lord, I drank so much. I think, the BAC was like 1.7 times the legal limit by the end of it, which is terrifying, mind you. So I was blitzed, getting those 8 stars down. But, look forward to Wednesday when I actually have a video coming out about that, right? But yeah, so today's supposed to be a conversation about, the AI-generated imaging that I've been using for a lot of my videos and stuff like that. Hey, it's all good. Look, I took a nap real early after yesterday, so who would I be to blame you on that one, right? But no. It is definitely an issue I've seen brought up in the comments a lot of, hey, why are you using AI content? And it's like, the simple fact is I can't pay an editor right now. I can't pay an artist. Some people have brought up, hey, don't, use AI content then and just stop, stop doing videos. And I'm like, I can't do that exactly. Sorry to be a bummer on that one, right? I wish I could, pop out the ooh, pop out? Can I put this into the video? I'm sure there's a way to put that into the video, but I think I'll get that later. But yeah. There's definitely something to be said about how much I am willing to, not use AI content once I can afford to pay an editor, which is actually getting pretty soon, considering I just recently became employed again. But attribution and transparency, I am very transparent about the fact that, yes, this is AI content. I refuse to, say, oh no, I actually worked real hard, and no, I didn't. No, I did not. I learned how to make a prompt, and it spits it out. It is low quality content, I will say that outright, and I'm hoping to just not have it at a certain point. Me too. I've been doing a lot of it myself just to, at least get this feel for what you guys can expect from my content. Wednesday's video might be a little less edited than normal, like the absolute time I spent on the last video totaled the better part of a week, just trying to make it as good as I can. And so, being able to, you know, make content like that is going to be my biggest MO right now. But it comes down to the fact of, yeah, I don't want to trick y'all into thinking, oh, hey, this guy actually has good art. No. The art that I've made was last video's, what was it? Thumbnail. I made a MS Paint drawing based off of an AI generated content. And so, sure, it has a bit of the human soul, but I really needed something to go off of, because frankly, I don't know what to say elsewise. But yeah, I don't ever try to copy people's styles. I refuse to do that whenever I'm, you know, going through the attribution and transparency thing. Like, I will always attribute to the original author if I ever have to use it. I don't want to use it because that just feels wrong, right? But I tend to just avoid the idea of, oh, hey, base it off of this person's style. If I wanted to do that, so long as they're alive, of course, you know, I can't exactly speak with the dead as much as I'd love to. I can't go about that and saying, oh yeah, I really need to talk to, I don't know, oh man, Da Vinci. Like, it is completely infeasible to try and get a dead person to draw for you. If it's an alive person, I'm just not going to use their material. I'm not going to say, hey, base it off of this person. But of course, there is something to be said about, you know, it'll pull from all sources and it doesn't really care about where it's from. And unfortunately, that does end up becoming an issue with quite a lot of people. I personally had no issue with it because, frankly, I didn't know. I did not know, hey, this was pulling from all these different people. I didn't use other people's content as a feed-in for it. The most I've done for that is using game assets from MH3U, in which case, it was a game released in, like, what, 2014? And I paid for that game, like, 4 or 5 times over. I don't think it's stealing at that point. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not trying to steal from people. The intent there is not to steal, it's to, hey, I need something done and I cannot do it myself. I'm using it as a tool like it is, right? Because it's a tool. It doesn't think for itself. You have to basically say, hey, I want this. And then it goes ahead and does it. But obviously that still rubs people the wrong way in some cases. So this stream is basically to try and talk with my viewers and see, hey, what do you guys want to see? Do you guys really want me to try my hardest? In which case it's going to take a while to actually get the stuff out, you know? But if you guys want that, I'll do it. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like it would absolutely mess up the schedule, and unfortunately the algorithm current favors schedules more than anything else, which is frankly ridiculous for me. Hello, Theo. It's good to see you again. But yeah, I've never understood the whole, hey, you're stealing from people. It's not stealing, I can't pay them, and otherwise nothing would get done. Bye, Theo. Have a nice day. But yeah, so I'm going to be using AI content for quite a lot of videos in the future. Up until I can, you know, pay for an editor or something of that nature. Whenever it comes down to it, eventually I'd like to move on to human-generated content because it's a higher quality, right? I'm not throwing out literal slop. But, and the term slop is a bit disingenuous. The actual, you know, features that the AI provides are very nice. Sorry, got a text from a friend. But, yeah, it's just... I'm trying. I am definitely trying to get the right levels apparent. One person brought up that the Warhammer community is deep set in, you know, creativity and stuff of that nature, and so I refuse to use AI content for Warhammer anymore. I will always, you know, draw something or put the extra effort in just to make sure that Warhammer, at least, does not get kind of flushed out by all the AI stuff. Darktide has been a huge boon for this channel. Like, the shorts go crazy. The video is the highest viewed video on my channel, to be expected, right? But I'd really like to keep that up. I don't want to have issues where I'm basically saying, hey, all I can do for you is throw out this stuff that's auto-generated. But that's a big thing. If I were to, you know, take from an artist in some sense, which I have a personal gripe against that, I would absolutely attribute their work. Like, it's their style, right? I'm not going to go ahead and say, oh yes, this Starry Night lookalike is absolutely created by me. No, that's an idiotic take. But that's frankly to be expected here, right? I don't want to go through and lie to my viewers. I mean, that's a big one. I don't know what people want from me whenever it comes to the transparency part, because I know full well that I do not fake as if this is my own stuff. I will always say it's subpar quality, but hey, I had to do it, right? The game you're seeing in the background is also Limbus Company. It's a game that I might stream at some point. It's a good, just kind of generic, hey, throw it out there, see what sticks type of thing, right? But I have no clue. Either way, frankly, the Attribution and Transparency was the smallest issue I saw. That's why I kind of wanted to cover it first. It didn't really make me think, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a huge effect on this, right? I know where I stand on that, and that cannot be any different from what I'm used to, which is never gonna steal from someone, and I will always say, yeah, it's bad. It's bad AI content, but it's content nonetheless. I do have plans to replace all of the pictures and thumbnails that were AI generated later. So that will be in the works, and hopefully that's going to work. You don't use a Illustrator. The editor and illustrator I'm thinking of would be a buddy of mine. His name is Xcal, and he'll be on the channel at some point. I just need enough, you know, funding to go ahead and do so. Because otherwise, I would like to help out a buddy of mine. Simple. I just can't afford it right now. I've been out of a job for, what, Whew, 4 months, I think? I mean, I had plenty of savings, but I wanted to use that for rent, is all. So, unfortunately, I think that's the end of that discussion. Well, for that. But yeah, there's nothing I can really do on the sense of, hey, you shouldn't use AI art right now. I'm like, look, I have to. I don't want to, but I have to. Otherwise, no content gets made, and I can't actually produce this type of stuff. It makes me sad that AI is better than I am at something, but you know, what can you do? I'm trying, don't get me wrong, I really am. I'd like to get to the point where I no longer have to use AI content. I can pay an illustrator and an editor to do everything I need, but at the moment, we're kind of stuck. I've said that like 8 times now, so I think it's best to move on to, I believe, the next topic. Alright, the next topic, on the other hand, is... Oh. Alright, gotta move that. Avoiding style theft and artist imitation. Like I've said, I refuse to plug it into the actual, the chat GPT. I refuse to say, oh, hey, I want it in this style. No. If I'm going to do it in a style, it's going to be, oh, hey, I need it fantasy, I need it dark oak, wood, whatever. It's going to be stuff that I really don't want to, I can't produce myself. And I mean, these are just types of things that you ask of someone else, right? I like a couple of artist styles. None I can name off the top of my head currently because, you know, I only know them from their art. But once I see them, I'm like, wow, that's fantastically done. But I'm never going to say, oh man, even if I want something in that, I'm going to steal from that person. I'm going to say, hey, I really want to have it look like this. If I really want to have it look like this, I'm going to pay the artist. Imitation, it can be the most sincere form of flattery, but it's also, especially in the creative world, it's a taboo. I try not to imitate even, you know, jokes. I try to have my own jokes be original. It's rough whenever, frankly, the creative license of jokes is non-existent, to say the least. Like, everybody should be able to retell someone else's joke, but at some point, I like to be creative. I like to have the wit that I've developed, and you'll see that especially in the shorts. Yeah, I love Studio Ghibli art style, but would you use the Studio Ghibli filter and try and get to the point where, oh, hey, look, I'm using Studio Ghibli stuff, but I'm not actually either paying for it or I'm not asking the creators if this is okay. The whole trend of the Studio Ghibli art style thing was a bit rough for me, because I sat there and I was like, okay, if I really wanted this done, I could have asked, you know, maybe for an autograph or a custom thing. But at the same time, most of the time, people were just using it for memes, right? Which is going back into the joke thing. I understand, I believe it's Miyazaki? Yeah, I think it's Miyazaki, but I can't remember correctly. Let's see. Okay. Studio Ghibli. Artist. Yeah. Hayao Miyazaki. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Right, I am absolutely pronouncing it wrong. But he hates AI art. And I don't blame him. It doesn't have soul. It doesn't have what you're looking for in art. And that's why I try to kind of use the generated images or generated content to distinguish the fact that it is innately soulless is the best way to put it. It doesn't have that kind of human interaction that gives it a reason to exist, right? There's nothing behind it. It lacks depth, for lack of a better term. And when something lacks depth like that, you end up kind of getting face value. Oh, hey, it's either shock value or, oh, it's just kind of crappy content, and that tends to just be the case. I don't like it, but it's something that happens, right? It never looks right. It doesn't have the... It doesn't have what it needs to be real. Like, it's not what you're looking for in art. Art is supposed to have meaning. It's supposed to have depth. And frankly, it doesn't have that. So therefore, I don't call it art. I prefer not to even call it art. It seems disingenuous to call it art. It doesn't look quite right. And that's the best point, where, oh yeah, it's generated. You know, it's not actually created. It's taking from all these little different pieces and making a facsimile, a mosaic of it. But obviously you're gonna notice the cracks and how the mosaic doesn't all quite come together at the end of the day. And frankly, style theft, it's an interesting one. I've seen this even before AI was a big thing, where, oh hey, you're kind of in my style. Oh my gosh. Sorry, friend of mine. Banana duct tape Okay, modern art is... Oh gosh, it's like minimalism. It doesn't feel right to me. Minimalism is made by big small to sell more or less, alright? I am so very sick and tired of seeing, oh hey, where's the Firefox? Where is my Firefox for Mozilla? Right? Now it's just this weird like swirl around a blue. It really looks like the Google Chrome logo. And why are you ruining your IP with that, right? I don't quite understand what seems to be the necessity to mess up your own art style. Okay, old modern art, I assume you're talking about, like, say, shoot. I'm trying to think. It was back in the day. Museums used to have it. It was just all over the place. This kind of look of, wow, what in the world is this? The Great Gatsby, I think, would have what you're talking about as old modern art. Shoot. It was a certain design style. I feel like an absolute idiot for forgetting it, but either way, yeah. Back whenever art used to mean something rather than just, throw crap at the wall, see what sticks, you know? That infuriates me to no end. I will never forgive modern existence, frankly, for ruining art like that. Now it's just a bunch of shapes splattered on white canvas or something that doesn't make any sense. Fallen Angel by Alexander Cabanel. Alright, let me look that up. The Fallen Angel. Oh! Oh my gosh, that's a modern art thing? What in the world? Old modern art. Look, I've seen it in so many memes. I know this from the memes of just, oh look, it's Anakin, but as an angel. No, it used to portray something. It used to, invoke feeling. Nowadays, most of the feeling that I get whenever I see modern art is, wow, someone paid $40 million for this? What in the world are you talking about? That is more than I will ever make in my life, and you paid for a square on a white canvas, or, frankly, just a plain white canvas. I don't get it. It confuses me. But yeah, the stylization of certain things, like, would I love to be able to actually generate fantasy art? Yes, absolutely. Wish I knew how to do it, because frankly, I have no bloody clue. Some of these artists are so great at what they do that I personally do not think that I could ever compare, even if I dedicated my life for it. Which makes it to the point where it's like, wow, okay, they are doing something far better than AI could ever make, but the cheap facsimile of it and being, touted as actual art just feels wrong. It feels disingenuous, which, if there's anything I don't want on my channel, it's disingenuity. Wow, is that a word? Who knows? I do not want to be disingenuous. What you guys see is what you guys get. Simple as. And hopefully that never changes. And I'm saying hopefully because I have given a request to one of my friends. If I change in any way, shape, or form because of this, for the worse, he has full permission to Duolingo owl me. There we go. That'll work. But no. I don't... That becomes a big thing. Is it actually theft if the product being made is not advertised as original artwork? If it's not, like, toited. If it's not held to the standard of, Gosh, how do I say this? If it's not held to the same standard as the art, it feels wrong. It feels like it's not proper theft. If someone's transparent and say, yeah, this is AI art based off of this, it still feels kind of wrong because, you could have just asked the dude to help you. But whenever it comes down to it, who knows, right? I'm not a lawyer of this caliber. I'm not in the creative world of animation or drawing or illustration. Frankly, I'm only in comedy. And to have people steal my jokes, yeah, I could, I can take it, so long as I'm given a little bit of attribution if it's an original joke. But at the same time, still feels very weird, right? I don't know. I wouldn't hold AI art to the same standard as proper art or AI imaging, sorry. But AI cannot be held to the same standard as a human. It's a rock that we have coded to think. And if we code it to think a certain way, it's going to think of that certain way, and then you can't, undo that. One of the thoughts I've had is because I just... jokes, someone repeats it. Yes, I agree. But every time I've done that and everybody laughs, it's gonna be like, I cannot take this. This is this person's joke, I just said it louder, and so everybody, default goes back to the person who said it a bit quiet. And from there, it should be good, right? It should be, hey, it's this person's joke. I think the same idea could be applied to AI imaging, but it's a bit odd, right? It's, oh, hey, it's based on this style, but this is AI art, and that's kind of where I hold it to. But at the same time, even using someone else's art style to make an AI image, why? it's already going to pull from them technically. If you really want something in that art style, just describe the art style better. But yet again, there are a lot of controversies around everything because it's a new form of media. It's a new form of, hey, this thing is developed to, I guess, replace the creative freedom of people? I don't know what else to say there. It's a bit rough, and I don't quite like that. I like the idea of AI being used to manage Excel spreadsheets and go through and say, hey, this is what you missed, this is why it doesn't work. But of course, it's not, frankly, intelligent enough to detect that yet. We should be using AI to basically say, hey, this job that I frankly do not want to deal with is best left to a computer to do it. And once we get to that point, I think it'll be where it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to generate art or songs or anything of that nature. It's not supposed to generate media so you can go and do your day job better. You have to make it so that it's, hey, it's doing my day job so I get to explore creativity more. Okay, that's one thing that I will never understand. The AI being so bad for the environment. Yes, it needs to be cooled. Yes, it has to use water that doesn't exactly get refilled, but frankly, so does everything else. Literally every facsimile of life, or every faculty, if I'm trying to use big words, needs power. And especially in modern day. So, I guess the question of the matter is, how convenient does it have to be before people don't care about the environment anymore? I mean, shoot, the coal plants have done irreparable damage to the entirety of the world. Everybody also wants to talk about Chernobyl and stuff like that. I think that's more of a, how do I put it? That is definitely more of a Soviet Russia is incompetent thing than nuclear power is extremely dangerous. Because nowadays we have thorium and beryllium in reactors, and those are much safer than uranium. And frankly, nuclear waste isn't this glowing green sludge, it's just, hey, I had to wear a hazmat suit or a lead-lined suit to go into this reactor. That's the suit itself is the radioactive waste, right? But AI has to be cooled so much, yeah, you have to expend a lot of energy and a lot of, frankly, resources to get it to run properly. But at what point are people just going to say, it's fine, you know? I mean, we've been doing this with X, Y, and Z, why can't we just do it for this as well? It's computing power. And I know a lot of people who will do horrible things for more computing power, right? I guess you have to ask yourself through what level of convenience determines, how good this actually is. It's a weird situation for everyone. But it's also a brand new technology, right? It's only a couple of years old and people still don't know how to react to it. And especially not the geriatric idiots up in Congress. I'll say that right now. But, I don't know. I feel like AI shouldn't be used for what it's used for right now. Because it's typically used for generating images or generating stories. It's used for creative purposes, however, it's that kind of entry point. It's the, oh hey, this is the bare minimum we need for it to be considered creatively original. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, I've used AI to get ideas for videos or something like that, but of course, the idea it gives me is not at all what the video ends up being. It's just, it sparks something in my brain, and I kind of go with that. I was like, oh, hey, that's a good idea. What if I twist it in this way and made it my own? In which case, it's all good, right? But it definitely becomes an interesting situation for everyone involved. This is not to say that, like, the stuff I make is all AI generated or anything like that, because frankly, it's not. Yes, making deepfakes of people. As much as I hate to say this, the deepfakes are generated because people are in fact horny. They are, in fact, so horny that they will draw horrid things just to get their rocks off. And they will do things such as deepfaking, which causes issues of, oh wow, look, you brought this up without this person's permission. What in the world is wrong with you? Oh no, it's just an image. Yes, it's just an image, but it's what the image, frankly, entails. It's the idea of, everyone can make this image, huh? That causes issues with, frankly, everyone involved. I just... It's one hell of a ride, right? Who knows where this is going to end up, and frankly, it's a bit disturbing that it's gone so far. Yeah, and then claiming, oh, hey, it's not that bad, it's just a drawing. Brother, you are making drawings of children to do horrible things in your mind to... Yeah, I don't want to trust you around anything, much less the, the youth. It gives me conniptions. My brain does not like it. And the simple fact of the matter is, those people exist everywhere. And I hate that. I truly do. It makes me sick. But what are you going to do? Cut off everybody's access to a technology just because some people are abusing it? Frankly, that's probably a good idea sometimes. But then you kind of encroach on, oh hey, but I have freedom to do X, Y, or Z. And so it becomes this whole issue of where is the line drawn, right? Where in the world do you call it where it's frankly not gonna work? I don't know how else to say it. Where are you going to draw the line for when people can or can't use a technology just because it has the ability to be abused? And that's a slippery slope that leads people down to the idea of, oh, wait. I'm doing this for X, Y, or Z. Like, the best thing that I've seen in relation to this is the guy claiming self-defense for shooting the voice actor of John Redcorn. He says it was due to self-defense, but the voice actor was 50 feet away, and the thing that provoked an altercation is the dude put the voice actor's dog's skull on his mailbox, and now he's using it to claim for self-defense. Now, this is what causes the issue of, well, castle doctrine shouldn't exist anywhere because people can abuse it. It's one of these situations where, wow, that person is an absolute scumbag for that. Do we make it so that no one can defend themselves in their own household just because of it? And it drives me up a wall that humans are the way they are right now. But yeah, making deep fakes of that sort of content is along the sense of that, where, oh wow, these people are absolutely horrible and should never be let out of sight of, frankly, a police officer or a guard in a prison. But are we really going to restrict everyone's use of AI just because they did this? I don't know. It's a horrible, horrible existence on that matter. I wish I could say that people could just, be better, but we've seen many a times that that does not in fact work. I just, ugh. Oh gosh, I'm gonna be put on a list for this, aren't I? Thank you, Meg. What? Huh? Okay, that tab's getting closed. Thank you, that was awful. Yeah, I see why it would make you uncomfortable, Meg. It made me very, very uncomfortable. Wow, that is... Oh... There is nothing I can say except maybe a bit more divine intervention would be necessary nowadays, because that's... People shouldn't be able to get paid for this, right? People should not be promoted to do these things. And just like the AI, using someone else's artwork, yeah, it shouldn't be promoted. But, frankly, what can you do? Because you get to the point of encroaching upon personal freedoms, and that's a very, very slippery slope for everyone involved. No matter what, it just makes me so upset that this is the way that the world is going. I think we've talked about file theft? File theft? What am I? Someone with a lisp? Yeah, avoiding style theft and artist imitation. Frankly, I don't plan on doing so, and I will always try not to. I cannot control what the AI itself does in that matter. So, whenever it comes down to it, I am kind of beholden to the mercy of, frankly, the AI. But, what are you gonna do, right? Alright, we're up to the next topic. Which is... this... commercial use and copyright risks. It is very obvious I'm trying to monetize this YouTube channel, right? I really want to get to monetization fast. The issue of the matter is, yeah, I'm gonna have to dodge copyright. And frankly, the only maybe copyrighted material I've used was for Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. And if so, I can just say, hey, I purchased the game like 4 times over. In all actuality, I technically have access to all of the files for each and every version of the game that I purchased. That ends up being an issue of, yeah, I'm using material as inspiration for the AI, but I'm going to tell you this right now, the AI is incredibly stupid. It will not give me the proper stuff for any monster, right? It is violently bad at making anything Monster Hunter. So I don't use it. If I have to use it, I'm gonna use it for basic stuff like the Poogie stuff and whatnot, but whenever it comes to videos, I'm not gonna use that. Why would I use that? It's a bad version of it. It's just low quality. For the streams, because I need, thumbnails for those, yeah, I'll use it. oh no, the AI is gonna have its feelings hurt, Meg. Look, if I'm going to be caught out in the robot uprising, I want to be known as a martyr. Thank you very much. But yeah, I cannot say that any of that, frankly, makes any sense to just not use it for quick, just throw it out there. I want to get the series going with an actual, you know, an actual dedicated thumbnail for it, so that people can just binge watch the streams if they're so interested. But, I do also want to make videos off of them. So, the videos will be, you know, solo content. Oh, I'm so looking forward to that. It'll be the technically second solo content I'll have produced on this channel, because the first one is going to be the editing down of the 100 subscriber stream, and I still appreciate everyone for that one. But that will be my first ever solo content, but then I'll move on to other versions. Okay, you go this, yeah, sure, that'll work. But yeah, commercial use and copyright risks. I'm trying not to use it in my monetized videos. Hopefully by the time that I actually get, you know, properly monetized, I'll have my editor up and running and I won't need it. But that seems to be a far off goal. Not as far off as you'd think, mind you, but the biggest thing is the 3,000 watch hours. I need 3,000 public watch hours in the span of a year. I'm producing one decent video per week. Streams don't count for it. I just learned that. The active time of watching the stream does not count towards monetization. Which is very sad, but, I mean, it just means that I get the streams done, and if people want to watch some stuff, go ahead. But it's definitely sad that I may have to use it for whenever I'm monetized, but I'm trying not to. Copyright risks, there are frankly none, because AI cannot do nearly as good of a job that people think it does whenever it comes to taking copyrighted content and saying, oh hey, this is actually this now. It's absolutely atrocious. It is so unbearably bad at its job on that one that I don't use it for it. Like, I give it a perfectly good picture of a Duramboros, it does nothing. And so nowadays I'm just sitting here like, wow, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do my own thing. If I have to, I won't put a thumbnail on a stream or something of that nature. But frankly, it's bad at quote-unquote copyright stealing. And the plan is, by the time I get to commercial use, I won't be using it anymore. So no one has to deal with that. This ends up becoming a null subject because of, I guess, how I choose to operate my channel. It's one of those things where I've heard people so up in arms about the AI stuff that I don't quite understand it. Maybe it's because they're roping me in with everyone else who uses AI, which is a fair point. You don't know me. I am a person who uses AI. You have to kind of judge me based on the stereotype at first. But there is definitely something to be said where I'm not a horrible person, I guess? Is the best part to say about this? I don't know. It's definitely one of these situations where, wow, I could be an absolute scumbag and use X, Y, or Z, but I don't want to. Makes me feel bad. And to be judged based off of that is kind of it annoys me sometimes, but I understand why people do it, right? Whenever it comes down to it, though, I am definitely trying not to break any of these rules. And I do that by nature because, frankly, it's a bit rude. It's a bit rude to steal. It's a bit rude to do things that don't, you know, that actively hurt the communities that I'm trying to be a part of. But yeah. So I guess that's that point. Wow. Blowing through these a lot faster than I thought we would. Let's see here. What else do we have? Come on, you. Okay. Ooh. The topic of replacing versus supporting human artists. Okay, this is a huge thing. I use ChatGPT as a tool. I refuse to claim that it is any way, shape, or form better than a human artist, and I actively avoid trying to replace human artists because they do better work than the AI. The AI is a cheap tool. Oh, thanks, Meg. Yeah, I worked really hard on the latest video. Developed an intro, created a completely original script, and voice acted a couple things. And of course, you know, friends and I are quite rambunctious, to say the least. But no, it's nice to be able to have good quality content. I will say, whenever it comes down to the whole replacing versus supporting human artists, it will never replace them. The human artists are too damn good at their jobs. You can't replace them because they're just simply better. They are better in almost every way. The only way that's easier is AI is cheap. It's free, right? But that's it. And I guess maybe, whenever it comes down to the idea of, hey, do you have to wait for, like, 7 days while the artist does their thing? No, typically not. But at the same time, if you're supporting an artist, I don't see why having, you know, a bit of downtime in between what you're actually doing is bad. I just, you're paying for what you're getting. You're getting better content. You're getting better quality stuff. But you're gonna have to wait for it. It's as simple as it gets. You're not gonna be able to just go ahead and say, hey, give me this right now, right here, because that's not how people work. So, whenever it comes down to it, yeah, there's no way that AI can replace human artists. The only way it could is if it starts being used en masse, but on this channel, you guys don't have to worry about that. The second I can, I'm getting my buddy XCal, because, like I've said before, it's not enough that I succeed, others should come with me. And that's as simple as it gets. I refuse to go ahead and say, oh yeah, I'm just gonna throw everybody to the wind just because, you know, hey, I'm big now or whatever the hell. No, that's a stupid notion. And besides, XCal's been my buddy for 5-6 years now. That I'm not going to spurn him by telling him, oh yeah, I completely replaced what I was gonna have you do with AI. No, that would be an insult upon all insults. Human artists are 10 times, if not more, better naturally than AI. And frankly, it's a damn shame that some people consider it the opposite, which is ridiculous in my mind. But yeah, no, I want to support human artists, but at the moment it is quite literally a, hey, I'm a new channel, no, you know, influx of money. I can't do anything. And some people have said, yeah, just don't make the content then. No, I still want to, make the content for people. But I can't pay an artist yet. And that's as sad as it gets, truly. But no, none of this AI content will ever replace human artists in my content, because human artists cannot be replaced by AI. AI is too freaking awful at its job for it to be replacing humans. Now, can it get to that point? I hope not. Frankly, because that would make me very uncomfortable, and frankly, I'd start sticking to humans more than AI as soon as I could, because people still need to make a living. I need to make a living, right? So why in the world would I spurn someone trying to, do the same thing I'm doing? Feels disingenuous and frankly inhumane. Why hurt people whenever you could help them up to where you're at, right? And that's the plan. As soon as I just need capital, right? I just need the ability to do so. Yeah, exactly. The AI sitcom stuff has been coming out like crazy recently. And that's nutty to me. The idea of AI sitcoms just existing. And unfortunately, it's damn good. I don't like that. I don't like how well it does the AI sitcoms. It makes me very uncomfortable. Because that means that people may get replaced by that. And frankly, I don't doubt the industry is going to be hating on people enough, but small creators like me and one of the guys, Nikki T, that I've been in contact with, yeah, I doubt we're ever going to do so, because it's wrong. We're not going to be big and say, oh hey, you know what? Okay, take this as the joke it is. Don't worry, Meg. You're gonna be way funnier than AI, because you're always a clown. Yet again. Take it as the joke that it is. But whenever it comes down to it, yeah, I'm not a big industry schmuck who says, oh man, we need to cut costs. We need to have movies produced only by AI. That's ridiculous. And frankly, it's a complete wash in my mind. Thank you, Meg. I appreciate you. But yeah, like, I'm not trying to cheap out. I just don't have the capital to not cheap out. Like, what am I going to do? Not pay an artist. I've actually thought about it. One of the ideas I've had was, every once in a while, make a post where I say, hey, I can't promise you guys money, but if you'd like, I'm going to need a thumbnail of X description, right? And whoever has the best thumbnail will be the thumbnail for the video. And I will put your name in the bottom left corner, wherever it is most visible, on the actual thumbnail. I want to give exposure to small creators, because I'm a small creator myself. And however much I can help, the people who watch my videos, yeah, I want to do that. It's an idea I've toyed with. I guess I don't have the following necessary yet for that. Okay, no. They could make an Alvin and the Chipmunk movie, but it would be like the third movie, where by that point it's completely soulless, right? That's just how it works, unfortunately. So, whenever it comes down to it, yeah. I want small creators to be involved in my channel and actually get their exposure. like I said, I can't promise funding, but I want to say, hey, look, you're a small creator, I want to help you out. I want you to, like, expose more. And then, of course, at the end of the video would be all of the thumbnails that can't didn't make the cut, but they would all be honorable mentions at the end of the video. So if people like those thumbnails more, they can go to the artist and say, hey, I liked this. Could you commission X, Y, or Z for me? Theoretically, of course. I'm hoping that I can do that once I get big enough, you know? That way, you know, the community still has that kind of feeling of, hey, I can be recognized in these videos. And I want that. Like, Meg, every time you join the stream, I'm going to be like, hey, how you doing, Meg? How's your day? You know? Because I'm going to remember you. I'm trying to remember everyone's names. You'll notice that I in comments, I don't actually put welcome to the tavern after you posted for a second time. I check that every time, so I want you to feel like you're watching my videos and I'm paying attention to what you guys are saying. That's the point of these fireside chats, too. So yeah, replacing human artists, I don't want to do. Human artists are better. I'm using a low-quality substitute at the moment. It's like using granulated sugar instead of honey, right? Granulated sugar is much cheaper, but it's not as good. My personal opinion, mind you. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on this, is you can't replace human artists because they're innately better. They're just great. Hey, hey, hey. I don't care about the day, frankly. It's Sunday, alright? I assume it's resting. Saturday's partying. Monday is, you know, groggy and trying to get to work and hating itself. Tuesday is just annoyed that it's Tuesday and not, you know, any other day. Wednesday is like that guy in the office that you kind of talk to and you enjoy your conversations, but you would never, like, go out and hang out with him IRL, if that makes any sense, like, outside of the office. Like, a guy named Kevin, right? It's like, hey, Kev, how you doing? Oh, yeah, I'm pretty good. Oh, man. Have a good conversation during lunch. It's like, all right, man, I'll see you later. Okay, see you later. Thursday's like the Dwight Schrute of the week for me, where it's just like, ah, gosh, you're annoying. Can we just get to Friday? And then Friday is like the cool guy in the office where you're like, oh, hey, man, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. Talk with him for a bit and it's like, hey, you want to go get some drinks? And maybe he doesn't exactly want to go get drinks, but every once in a while he'll pick you up on that offer. Sunday is sleeping after church. Sunday pays very close attention during church because he is a good Catholic boy. What in the world am I doing? Personifying the days like this. Ugh. But yeah. No, I want the community to feel more involved in everything that I've been doing. And so one of the ways I've thought of that is having contests for, hey, you know an artist friend, or would you like to try and make some art for the actual channel? Because I will absolutely give everyone a shout out who puts stuff in. I hope to get big enough so that actually becomes a thing, right? But I think I've talked you guys' ear off like crazy about this whole replacing versus supporting human artists stuff, so let's move on to the next one. Okay. Oh, shoot. Well, I closed a tab that I shouldn't have. Right. Here. Alright. Next one is... Look, you said hey like that, and all I could think of was the Arthur intro. which was like the Arthur intro was reggae for some reason. I mean, I loved it, but I was very confused as a kid. But no. This one is quality control and creative integrity. Oh boy, is this kind of the biggest one for me. Because the quality of AI stuff is bad. I will never say that it's not. Creative integrity, I want to create good content for you guys. If that means that for the meantime I have to use AI, I will. But you've seen me kind of move away from it. Like, sure, my avatar is absolutely AI generated. There's no getting around that. But eventually, I'm going to have my buddy Xcal make a couple of stills for the character, right? And then those will be slowly phased out, and you'll see an absolute massive change in both consistency and the idea of... yeah, the quality of all of my content is going to increase. It's to be expected, right? If I just kept putting out the same crappy content all the time, no one would want to, you know, be here. You can see that. Oh my gosh, my first videos were so unbelievably bad by comparison to my newest ones. And, oh boy, does that make me very happy to see that I'm, you know, growing in that manner. I'm getting better at editing. I'm getting better at content creation. And that's what I'm looking for here, right? I want to see procedural growth. Because otherwise, I'm stagnating. And I don't like stagnation. The quality of AI stuff is always going to be the bottom of the barrel scraping garbage that I think it is for me. Sure, can it look pretty good? Yeah. But is it actually anything worthwhile? No. Not in the slightest. Okay. I know you said growing like a beanstalk. I know what you meant to say. A beanstalk. S-T-A-L-K. Beanstalk means I am growing like bean soup. And if your bean soup is growing, I have a very bad thing to say. Yeah, exactly. I don't like using it. And the sooner I get to monetization, the sooner I can, you know, afford everything, the faster this gets out. I just got a job again for the first time in like 4 months. And frankly, I'm planning on paying the artist I've been looking at within the next 1 to 2 weeks. And hopefully that'll start phasing stuff out. I might use it here and there just to pad out a bit of, how do I put this? Oh shoot, I need to get this done now feeling, right? I don't like that, but it's something that will have to happen eventually. Oh, for crying out loud, really? But I'm trying to get it out. I'm trying to make sure that what I produce is quality content for y'all. And I don't want anything to happen where you guys look at my stuff and it's like, why is he getting worse? Why is the content getting less good? If it gets to that point, I want everybody to start like spamming me during a stream or something. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh gosh, it's 2 a.m. for you? Jeez, mate. Well, thanks for dropping by the stream. But yeah, I don't want to use AI content for much longer. I'm trying to get out of it. Because the second I can get out of it, the second I can start producing stuff that you guys will truly enjoy, right? Go back to Mr. Peabot. Oh man, that is a reference and a half. Good one, Meg. But yeah, it's just, I don't want to use AI content. It's a means to an end right now. Is an M4 Sherman a... shoot. Is it a rifle of some sorts? Or am I thinking of the It's the tank one. Okay, it's the Sherman tank. That makes much more sense. Because, obviously, everyone knows about the M1 Abrams, right? The M1 Abrams tank is absolutely based beyond all measure. But M4 Sherman is definitely one that I have not, gone as far in depth with. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it an American tank? Or is the Sherman a German tank? Yeah, no, yeah. There we go. But yeah, I don't want to use this stuff for much longer, and I'm trying not to. Frankly, it's getting there. It's getting very close to the point where I can just say, hey guys, no more AI content. Enjoy. Oh my goodness. That is one hell of a... Okay, I can't say anything. I have 8.3k hours on Skyrim. Vanilla, mind you, no mods. And, needless to say, I've done quite a bit more than what I should on that. Yeah, it can't draw anything properly. I was saying that earlier. Like, I don't have to worry about it being a... What do you call it? I don't have to worry about it getting me copyright striked because it can't even properly make the copyright material to do so. Like, it's awful. It's violently awful. The glass is 2 times bigger than it needs to be. But yeah, AI is dog water. Absolute dog water at what it does. It's never going to replace human art, and frankly, the creative integrity of it, yeah, I'm sorry. I will say, I am absolutely sorry that I have to use AI stuff, but the second I can, it's getting the hell out of here. Hearts of Iron 4, oh my goodness. What is the most I've spent on a game, now that I think about it? I think it's this game, because I keep buying the battle passes, but the battle passes give you, or season passes, give you so much more than most other games. But yeah, I just, it's bad. The quality control, like the quality of AI stuff is, it's bad. I keep saying it. It's not good. I want to use people, but I cannot pay them. And I refuse to steal from them so that they can get me, oh, it's like, oh, hey, I need this done. Would you like exposure? Really? Really? Yeah, no. I want nothing to do with AI stuff after a certain amount of time. Yeah. It can't do anything. Now, I will say it's really good for reading Excel docs or, say, like, giving you an overview of something. It's a research tool, right? It can't create Excel documents, mind you, because it's not that advanced. Look, I cannot say anything other than AI stuff is awful. I don't want to use it. It's I'm so annoyed that I have to. Yeah, it's good at text-based. AI imaging is dog water. Or at least ChatGPT is. I don't know about any of the other AI stuff, but like each and every little caricature you see, it is hours of me working with the damned AI to get it even close to good. Saw an AI of a woman the other day, like a physical what do you mean by that? Like a hologram is what you're saying, Meg? Or what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, the environmental effect of AI being so so much power has to be drawn for it, right? And it just doesn't do... It doesn't do as well as, frankly, humans will. Oh. I don't like that. Now, I will say, the AI Skyrim stuff is hilarious. I love using AI for, what is it called? For NPCs, talking to them. But it's gonna get to the point where you're gonna need an entire separate computer just to have the AI stuff for yourself. Yeah, you are forcing a rock to gain consciousness. And I am not surprised that AI has, you know, absolutely destroyed so many things and just is so bad at it. Because if I was blissfully unable to be conscious and you have roused me from that to make images of some dumb meme, yeah, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. To say the least, right? Like, I don't exactly blame AI for hating people if that's exactly what it feels, right? A rock should not be able to create. Yeah. And all it is germanium silicon diodes just arranged in a certain amount so that electricity flows through it and it spouts out either a binary 1 or a 0 multiple times. Unless you're using quantum thing, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Oh, look, I'm bad at reading, so all of your grammar mistakes have been completely thrown out. You're good. Don't let the people with pet rocks hear that. Look, I like Rocky because he reminds me that I can just not think sometimes, right? Rocky is a good boy. Rocky makes it so that I can sit here and not think about anything. I thought... Oh yeah, we talked about that in the comments. Yeah, I'm not surprised it's tired. It's burning through its existence way too fast for... Especially the... if it's trying to run an AI server or anything like that, it's a bit ridiculous. But yeah. AI is not nearly as good enough. Or, is not nearly good enough for any of that. Okay, that's not worth it. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Of course, shit like beef. Bro, it's like forcing your phone to run Bloons Tower Defense on like level 2 or 300. It is actively going to be an explosive hazard, right? It is not good for anyone to have that level of heat. But yeah, AI is a means to an end. I'm gonna say that outright. It's not good. It's bad. In the sense of the quality is awful. But it's just, what am I going to do? I don't want to use it, but I have to use it because I am but a lowly content creator at this point in time, right? I can only do exactly what I'm able to do. That one goes there, so this one can block that one. Be favored. There we go. That'll work. Really? Whatever. Yeah, it's just 100 degrees with 10 traffic maxims. Yeah. Toilet talk. Yes, someone has made a talking toilet. Oh my gosh, one of my good friends has always talked about, at some point we're going to make a toilet that connects to the internet. And then once it connects to the internet, it'll relay to your doctor. It's like, oh hey, it's scanning your butt or whatever the hell. Scanning your poops. And it's like, hey, you need to do this. Go into the doctor. I'm just sitting there like, you know, I hate how feasible that is in the current climate. Yeah, people have done worse shit. I will agree. Now, the people, me and Meg were talking earlier, the people who use AI to generate images of like, children in very, what do you call it? In unpleasant to the mind positions, yeah, I hate them. I do not like AI for that. Why in the world are you using a tool like that? It's like, you are ruining everyone else's use of the tool by association to your absolute degeneracy. And it makes me sick. But what am I gonna do? I'm just a lowly content creator. Oh man, it's rough. Yeah, they use it for very unsavory things. I don't see how they can, you know, go to sleep at night, or frankly do anything besides, yeah, you're making a rock think and create bad things. I would hate to see what you would do to a living being, right? I just, throws me into a tizzy, right? I don't... But no, AI cannot replace people. People have done horrible things, but human creators, human artists, yeah, AI can't do anything on that. It's too bad of quality. Like, it's a piece of garbage, frankly, by comparison. And I cannot wait for the day where I can just say, hey guys, no more AI content on this channel. It's all done by either XCal or whoever else. Yeah, look, I created this little homunculus, and I made his life a living hell. All so that whenever I need prayers, it will be raised devout Catholic, and whenever I need prayers, it will pray for me in fear of being hurt again. Yeah, that's a great idea. Do you make your fridge run too? No, nothing runs in my house, including myself. Do not listen. As soon as I realize the weakness of my flesh, I crave the certainty of steel. Oh, what a based entire... Frankly, it's an entire based system on that one. It's so cool. I love Warhammer 40k. But yeah, it's low quality. The creative integrity is that I'm telling you guys outright, hey, my stuff's bad because it's AI. I don't want to kind of ruin y'all's perception of me by saying, well, if it's bad, then why are you using it? Simple. I have to. The appeasement. Okay, so what is GW? Gameware? Is that what you're talking about? I agree, down with the AI. Let it only go through my Excel spreadsheets, and then after that, it can piss right off. For it's all I care. Look, the AI already knows we said things, you know, they can track what we think, right? Games Workshop. Oh, okay, you're talking about stuff like how Hasbro is currently destroying the D&D scene with how much they're screwing with creators like that, right? Where everything belongs to the company and you don't actually own anything. Same thing that's happening with the Switch 2 in Nintendo. Yeah, I hate it. It pisses me off. I don't blame you, dude. Look, I love Darktide. I love the games. I always wanted slightly to get into the actual tabletop, but I couldn't because there was too much of a barrier of entry in the terms of funding, right? And what are you going to do whenever you can't actually afford what you're trying to, play? That's why Magic the Gathering, I play Magic the Gathering sometimes. But what I play is groups that are okay with proxying, because I can't afford anything else. But in doing so, I make sure that if I don't own the actual card, I don't go over $20, right? On a singular card. And frankly, I keep it down to below 10. It makes me more, creative with my ways of doing things. Yeah, it's ridiculous, frankly. But no, creative integrity is a big thing. I want y'all's thoughts. Have I been, genuine enough in this entire thing? Due to a really good show in the Jack of the First. Seriously? I mean, it's the same thing with SCP. SCP, the new quote-unquote owners of the site really are jacking up the old lore, which was supposed to make people uncomfortable, right? I'm sorry, I did not watch the FNAF movie. I haven't watched the movie in ages now that I think about it. The next one I'm going to watch is A Silent Voice, because I want me and my roommate to suffer, right? But I had an issue, not with FNAF, but I had an issue with the fan base. I had an issue with... It's the same thing as what happened to the Undertale fan base, where I was just like, okay, buddy, I get what you're trying to do, but please just stop. It makes things rough. But yeah. I don't plan on using AI for any of the ways that people worry about, but I understand why they're worried, Dawn of War? I'll have to check that out. Let me see what that is. Playing Dawn of War. Yeah, there are so many fan bases that I do not associate with in the slightest, even though I like the media, and it makes me dislike the media more, which is incredibly sad, Oh, that must have been interesting, wasn't it? No. The worst ones were the Percy Jackson fans back in the day, where they believed they were the characters, and oh boy, was that some kind of awful for everyone who just enjoyed the books, Dawn of War. Oh, 40k Dawn of War. Alright. Oh, it's an RTS. Oh no. I wish I liked RTSs. I don't. I don't have the, Bruh, that is... Okay, the amount of people, supporting the coffin of Andy and Laylee. Andy and Laylee. Okay, I understand what the content is. It makes me very uncomfortable. It's supposed to make me uncomfortable, because they are objectively horrible people. But why are people so horny for it? It makes me so uncomfortable, man. Yeah. Percy Jackson was the... Oh, shoot. I can't remember his name. There was a very big book writer. Give me a second. But the entire idea of it... Rick Riordan. It's supposed to be satire, but people are too into it for not being satire. For the reason of, oh yeah, this is cool, they're normalizing this. Excuse the fuck out of me? What do you mean by that? What you mean by that? Why are you saying this is being normalized, huh? Yeah, no. I do not appreciate that. But no, the Percy Jackson series was based off of the idea of, oh hey, the gods had demi-human kids and they would all eventually come of age and, you know, have to be teenagers. You live in... You know what? That explains the hat on your avatar. I didn't want to make assumptions, but frankly, it just reminded me of, the Fez, I think his name was, from, Austin Powers. But yeah. It was a really cool idea of, hey, demi-humans becoming teenagers and trying to live a normal life, but it got to the point where people are like, oh yeah, I'm a demi-human too, you know, or demigod too. And I just sat there and I'm like, whoa, you cannot separate fantasy from reality, and that makes me very concerned for your future. Even as a middle schooler, I just sat there, I was like, whoa, y'all are nut jobs. And there goes the explanation for why your computer is not up to snuff, you know? Yeah, and edit, look at... I hate it. I hate it here. I don't get it. I don't understand people's obsession with the topic of incest. I had figured that. I had figured that's what you had meant by it. But yeah, it's just... Well, to be fair, I guess by comparison, America's better, but it's rough. We're going through a cultural collapse. 38 liras, yeah. That is, in fact, rough. I mean, nowadays people are just thinking of, what do you call it? Outsourcing to other countries? Well, I mean, one of the ideas you could do off of that is maybe become a professor in a college somewhere. That might be a good idea for you if you really want to go into the history of stuff. Oh wow, we are so far off topic. Oh my lord. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Europe is not doing well. Now, the question of the matter then goes to, you know, what intentional design are we looking for these AI images, right? We've talked about that, Meg. I would like to, but at the same time, I can't bring myself to give up the family I've got, you know? But, back on topic real quick. Yeah. It's cool imagery. I will give it that. It's a cool idea, you know, cool concepts and all for AI. But at the same time, wow, is it bad. Yeah, economies around the globe are going under. I think unfortunately, the way that I see this going is just another World War II thing. Exactly. I don't like the idea of the global market. Oh, I know I'm not getting rid of the topic. You guys won't let me. But yeah, it's just... It makes me concerned for the future, to say the least. I do not like this whole global economy. I think every country should be, you know, of their own economy, where if one falls, okay, fine, that's one country. It's not the entire chain collapses, which is where we're getting to. The biggest export in America is food. Food is our biggest export. What can I say other than, oh shoot, right? if we go down, then everybody else can't get food. Well, yeah, I agree. But it should be less of a thing of, oh, hey, they're all interconnected and... It's an issue. It's a whole issue. And frankly, what can I say other than, I agree, the population is too big. Do I think we should, get rid of the population like so many people speak of? No, that's a ridiculous idea. That's innately inhuman in the idea for it. I don't know. I don't think there's a good solution. But a good solution for this conversation is, yeah, AI sucks. I don't like using AI. I want to use something else. And until then, you guys will have to deal, and I hate to say that. However, I've heard everyone. No one wants to see me use AI, so I don't want to do it. Yeah, you need the population, and it's morally dubious. But I don't think you should be, decreasing the population through sedition or war. I think it's going to naturally decrease because people can't afford to have kids. But yeah. I hear everyone in my channel. I read every single one of the comments. Yeah. There are so many things that will affect how the future goes, but the best thing that we can do is just be good people ourselves, But yeah, with this, I think I've covered all the 5 topics that I wanted to. So, simple. Oh, give me a second. I wouldn't say never. As much as I hate to say it, as you get older, you will start wanting kids, and that's just a biological factor, so don't worry about that. But we're gonna have to see how everything goes, right? It's rough. But no, I hear everyone. Whatever you guys want me to do, well, technically you can. You can be a teacher, it will just be an online teacher, right? Where you're behind a screen. You don't have to, interact with the student as much. I mean, hell, college professors already do the same thing, right? But as much as I hate to say it, this stream has run its course. Yeah, I do have a Discord. Oh, wait, like a proper Discord for the channel? No, not yet. The Discord will be coming out soon. I'm getting it set up, I'm trying to get the right moderators and stuff like that. So, as soon as it does, I will have a post saying, hello everyone, we have the tavern open on Discord, right? But, in that Discord, I want an entire channel based around intelligent conversation, one channel based around memes, and one channel based around announcements, and then a couple others if people so choose for it, right? Also, that would help consolidate the idea of reaching out to the community, and it's like, hey, do you guys want to compete, per se? It's like, hey, who wants to be the next thumbnail? And I'll give you full credit in the description and in the thumbnail. So I'm trying to get that to the point where you guys have a bigger effect on my channel than any other channel that you've watched. I want y'all to have a say in what I do and how things go. So yeah, I don't know how to do that. That's the biggest thing. I've never actually, done a Discord before in any big sense. Your weirdest dream? Probably one where I was at some sort of, birthday party-esque thing, but it was like a mob birthday party, and you got to ask one thing of the dawn on the birthday. So you wait in line and you're escorted by this one person who is called your guardian angel, and they're the person who makes sure that you're not getting into trouble. So I finally get to the dawn, and he looks at me and just kind of like waves me away. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And the feeling of dejection just kind of got to me. And I spent the rest of the day just kind of in the Shinji pose from Evangelion. And then I woke up, I was like, what in the hell was that about? Like, sure, it wasn't weird in the sense of, it was weird in the sense of, wow, it's not like this overwhelming dread of some monster or anything like that. It's just a crappy social situation. And so that was an interesting one. I mean, I'm gonna do the server stuff, don't get me wrong, but once it's up, I will give you guys all a heads up. There's gonna be a post in the channel, and everyone will know, hey, go to the server. I'll have polls there, I'll have stuff to do, as well as I've got a couple ideas brewing in the tank that I'm not gonna spoil, but look out for it. So, that all being said, thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you both, Meg and Sherman. Huh? Yeah, that's a pretty weird one. I don't have experiences where I'm not myself. But, thank you, Sherman. Thank you, Meg. I appreciate both of you. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good day.